Let's move on real quick. We've got a video from Melissa Lantzman,
Mm.
and I watched this yesterday. In the House Ethics Committee, Sam Cooper was testifying. We cut some of those clips; they're up on our YouTube right now. But the entanglements between Brookfield and the
Oh.
CCP got more after Justin Trudeau was elected. All of a sudden, they're
Oh my
meeting
God.
with the United Front, which is the overseas bullying arm of the CCP. They are doing business with CCP linked businessmen. Mark Carney meeting with Xi as the head of Brookfield. And all of it was like humming along, just your standard Chinese investment. And then Justin Trudeau gets elected. They know they're not going to do anything about it, Chinese meddling, and then straight up the Brookfield investment. And so today, the House of Commons will vote on whether to haul in the CEO of Brookfield and Carney's own chief of staff to testify about Mark Carney's conflicts of
Oh,
interests, fake ethics screen, and his offshore wealth. The Prime Minister lectures Canadians about sacrifice while his inner circle cashes in from tax havens abroad. Um, and that should go down, I think, today.
huh. Watch how your MP votes, he says. No kidding, Canada. No
Yeah.
kidding. Well, the Brookfield octopus is unraveling a little bit as more light is being shone on this. And so it would be, I think it would be in the best interest of every Canadian if a big, bright, if a humongous spotlight was put on Brookfield and their various interests across the country. Just in the last several months, every week we find out a new way that Brookfield is somehow
Yeah.
involved in your life in Canada and how they've taken advantage of government relationships to make that happen. And so this will be really interesting. I
Every
hope to
time I
see it.
every time I see something weird, I always stop and I go, "Hang on, is this Brookfield?" Like,
How
and it usually is.
it is truly staggering the ways in which they have uh invested in companies in Canada that will then benefit their shareholders, and especially as it pertains to natural resources and government contracts. The well-being of the Canadian public should come first, not the well-being of the Brookfield shareholders.
Oh, look at this. This is from uh, Ethics Committee yesterday. Sam Cooper, as I said, was testifying.
Mm.
He tells Michael Barrett about $3 billion in China-linked real estate and energy investments. So let's just watch this. We can't build a pipeline. $3 billion in real estate and energy investments in China. Let's just watch.
Go ahead, please. Your reporting notes that Brookfield maintained over $3 billion in politically sensitive investments connected to China and its state-linked real estate and energy companies. Can you explain how Prime Minister Carney's role in Brookfield's ties to the regime in China?
Sure, I'll go off memory of my own reporting. Thinking of that story, which I wrote in the lead up to the federal election, I researched into Brookfield's investments in China. And on the real estate file, I noted that after 2015, Brookfield had made very substantial China-based real estate investments. And due to my knowledge of Beijing's United Front networks, I noted that one of the key Hong Kong investors connected to the projects in which Brookfield was investing was part of China's political consultative conference. That was important to me because the Central Intelligence Agency notes that people on that high-level Chinese communist entity are involved, the CIA says, in Beijing's sort of global United Front networks. That's how the Chinese Communist Party brings influential people together. So I noted in my reporting that for Brookfield to get access to that same type of investment project on a major real estate deal in China, together with a very elite Hong Kong real estate tycoon, certainly in my learned opinion, would it would take a special kind of access to get that kind of deal. So then tracking forward through when Prime Minister Carney joins Brookfield, in the surrounding years, I noted that the real estate market in China had plummeted. At some point, Brookfield needed to secure some, let's call it sort of a re-injection of capital, and it turned out that it emerged that the Bank of China, as others have reported, was involved in bridging some capital to reinfuse that deal in China's troubled real estate market. So stepping back from that, I noted that people in Mr. Carney's position in Brookfield, Mr. Carney also traveling to China to meet with senior Communist Party officials around the timing of the Bank of China, assisting Brookfield with their real estate investment. That would certainly, in my mind, raise, the questions around access and influence.
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah,
Carney
I think
was
that's
the
good.
chair at
I think that's good. There's one more clip that I'm gonna find, but go ahead.
While we find it, do let me just say that China's real estate crisis is in a severe downturn after falling property values, developer bankruptcies, and a significant slowdown in housing sales. So in 2021, the Evergrande Group, this is another huge real estate investor, defaulted. And so all of a sudden you have billions of dollars worth of stock in the real estate market that doesn't have a market to sell to. So the $3 billion that Brookfield has done in deals with this Chinese government is sort of like a bailout. Like Brookfield
Sure.
has been bailing out the Chinese government because of these huge losses in their real estate market. So do we want to, as a government of Canada, wade into that? I would argue not. I would argue it's none of our business.
And that testimony shows that Mark Carney is willing to literally do deals with the devil. The
Sure.
United Front is the offshore bullying
Right.
people of Chinese expats. We heard about them during the Foreign
Election.
Interference Commission
Okay.
and the their links to foreign interference in the 2019 and 2021 elections. So we also heard that not only was Mark Carney meeting with the United Front in China, which is terrible, but he was also meeting them on Canadian soil in the exact riding where the United Front and other CCP-linked entities started a disinformation campaign that targeted conservative at the time MP Kenny Chiu. He was meeting with the disinformation peddlers who everybody knew was responsible for the WeChat campaign of lies against Kenny Chiu. That's who Carney met. We have that clip here. It was Cooper v. Cooper, Michael Cooper versus Sam Cooper at the Ethics Committee.
Earlier that
and
Prime
what
Minister
Mr. Carney's
had met
meeting, which he denied at first, as you know.
Sorry, we've got two
he
there.
didn't-
Let's try that again.
Okay.
It's a short 42-minute clip.
with
Go ahead.
individuals affiliated with the United Front at the Jiangsu Chamber of Commerce in Markham. That wasn't the only time that Mark Carney met with United Front leaders during the Liberal leadership, was it? He also met with United Front leaders in Steveston, Richmond East, which was the epicenter of the disinformation campaign by Beijing against Kenny Chiu, correct?
Quick response, Mr. Cooper.
I recognized from open reporting from my colleague Bob Mackin in Vancouver that video evidence did show that United Front associated members were at that meeting with Mr. Carney.
Okay, thank you.
Then,
Yeah. So right up front, he met with the people who ran the last disinformation campaign. Why did we have the Foreign Interference Commission? What came out of that? Except knowledge for the Liberals of who was the most effective in spreading Chinese disinformation, so you could
Misinformation.
go back to them for help.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And you just have to ask yourself, is Mark Carney acting in the best interest of Canadians, or is he acting in the best interest of Brookfield, who is eventually going to benefit economically from bailing out the Chinese government? Like this, it is all just too conflicted to be able to forgive
Yeah,
or to overlook.
right. And I said to Ezra yesterday on his show, because he asked me, like, Sheila, do you think we'll ever get a pipeline project done in Canada? And I said, not as long as Brookfield has investments in pipelines in other places.
That's right.
Like the day that Brookfield invests in a pipeline in Canada, that's the day that we'll get one moving forward.
Well, I do believe that a day will approach, hopefully sooner rather than later, where there is a moratorium on doing business with Brookfield, because they are just so entrenched in so many different questionable ways.
Well, and aside from Mark Carney's cynical anti-Americanism, I don't think he hates the United States. I mean, he moved Brookfield's head office there, but he knows that it wins at the ballot box for certain people. This is from you. Again, if you see an announcement, ask yourself, is this Brookfield? Because it mostly is. This is Canada Proud. The Trump administration has announced a partnership with Brookfield, which was formerly headed by Mark Carney, to help build a series of nuclear reactors. That's Westinghouse, right? Totaling $80 billion across the United States as part of the country's plan for energy dominance. So Mark Carney is kneecapping Alberta Energy and not letting us have export pipelines while helping the Americans advance energy dominance because it helps Brookfield. He's like a mercenary. He only cares about Brookfield.
Well, this is crazy because okay, so this entire nuclear conversation, Saskatchewan has the world's second largest deposit of uranium. The world is absolutely thirsty for more Saskatchewan uranium, but we must have a discussion as the people of Saskatchewan about who is going to benefit most from our blessed natural resources. Is it going to be the people of Saskatchewan? Because if we're walking into a 100-year or multi-generation investment into nuclear energy in the world, okay, who is going to benefit first? Is it the people of Saskatchewan or is it Brookfield? I think that we have not been asked this question yet. And I think that if given the opportunity, the vast majority of people from Saskatchewan would say, right, I don't want Brookfield or the federal government or Mark Carney to benefit at all from Saskatchewan's uranium. So interesting times ahead, guys. Interesting times ahead.